Greetings and salutations, YouTubers. This is ZillaFan85 back today with my latest video, another figure review, and for today we are going to go ahead and take a look at my Bandai Movie Monster Series Jet Jaguar figure. Jet Jaga, Jet Jaga. Alright, I don't think you guys want to hear me singing too much, but anyway, definitely was looking forward to reviewing this guy. I've been meaning to get around to, to getting the review done on him. Just had some other stuff in between that I was getting to first. But now we're going to get into this guy. So obviously, I did review my Gashapon Jet Jaguar figure previously. So obviously, we don't need to cover too much with Jet Jaguar. Again, he's kaiju mecha, if you will. A very, very awesome one at that. I've always loved Jet Jaguar. Of course, featured his one and only true film appearance featured in, the 1973 movie Godzilla vs. Megalon, which, again, as many of us know already, it was originally intended to be a Jet Jaguar, movie on its own without Godzilla in it, but then obviously they decided Godzilla's name would fare better, for the movie itself, as far as selling wise goes. So obviously they kind of threw Godzilla in at the last minute. But nonetheless, though, it was definitely a fun film. Not really among my favorites, Godzilla vs. Megalon. I know people are torn on it. It's kind of a little lower on the list for me. But I do love Jet Jaguar, like I said, and I do love the kaiju fights in the movie. It's a great tag team match, in my opinion, when Jet Jaguar and Godzilla team up to take on, Megalon and Gigan. So it was definitely a very memorable fight, and of course we had some memorable moments, including Godzilla's famous flying kicks. So that's just great stuff right there, folks. So anyways, let's go ahead and jump into this figure review. So this is what many people call the purple tag Bandai figure of Jet Jaguar. It's a movie monster series one, but it does have that purple outline on the tag, as you can see here. The very cool image of Jet Jaguar and that sort of battle-ready pose that he's got. Obviously the titling on it there, with the Toho Company Limited on the inside. Again, some information, obviously all this stuff written in Japanese, so unfortunately I can't read it. But, again, some information here and some more, I think, title information here as well, including some sizing on the figure, or not the figure, but sizing on Jet Jaguar, how big he is in human form and meters, and of course when he increases his size. You guys can see that there, 1.8 meters to 50 meters. So very, very cool stuff here. And nice little picture image of him here. I never realized before, I guess I never realized all the times I watched the movie that he actually had 3 antennas when he was in the flying mode. So I do remember the 2 on the outside, but not so much the one on the center. But very, very awesome. You always learn new stuff. And then, of course, the back of the figure here with the silhouette of Godzilla, 2006 when this was originally released, but I think this was reissued in 2007. That's what this version is. Again, some more information, of course, by Bandai there on the back. So, very, very cool stuff. So, now on to the figure, starting with the paint job here. Very, very nicely done. I think this is a really, Bandai did just an awesome, awesome job on this figure, in my opinion anyways. I know he's pretty sought after. If you see online, he's in pretty high demand, and he is kind of a rare figure, so one thing to note right off the bat. But, I think that they just really knocked it out of the park. So you can see with the paint scheme, he's got the silver paint for the main part of his body, obviously the silver metallic color that he's got. He's got the black eyes, but they're not like creepy. Well, they're kind of creepy looking, but they're cool looking nonetheless. So he's got that cool, I always called the Jack Nicholson grin that he's got there. So that's the eyes kind of just fit in with that black paint scheme on it. And they look very, very glossy too when you look at them. At least I think so anyways. So, and then of course you got the reds and the blues here. You can see the blues on the by the elbows here and on the neck. Got the red on the chest. going into the silver there on more of the abdomen area. And of course you got the orange here and the shoulders going in again into the abdomen and waist area here. More reds on the sides here combined in with the orange, orangish color. And then of course the orange down on the knees and the blues that go down on the bottom parts of his legs into the silver for, I guess, what you would consider his boots with that there, as you can see. So very, very cool. Very indicative of his design, and also almost missed that you got the red on the back of the head there as well. So again, just kind of wanted to try and make sure I touch on everything there. So very, very perfect, very indicative of how Jet Jaguar, looks in the movie. So it's just, like I said, they really knocked it out of the park, I think, with this figure. So that about covers it for the paint scheme. For the detail work, again, very nicely done. Something the reviewers usually do point out when reviewing this figure is he does have the antennas on the side of his head, as you can see on both sides here. They're sort of sculpted into the head so they're not separate pieces, but they included the detail work to show them off there, which looks really nice. You got some bolts on the front along with some line segments here for the patterning. You got the bolts on the back there, very nicely done. And of course the back of the head comes, or the head itself comes into that point at the top like he's got, very signature of his look. Again, like I said, the Jack Nicholson grin on his face, along with the eyes there. I think it goes very well together. You got the sort of, the grooves, the segments here on the neck, as well as on the arms here, and you could definitely feel them. So they are etched in pretty nicely there. It's always nice when it's not just like simple paint, when it's actually detailed on, so that you can actually feel the texturing on it. And again, this figure doesn't lack there, so they did a nice job there with that. Of course, the detail work, some sort of bumpy parts on legs here. I don't know, maybe that's part of like the suit, I'm thinking, possibly. Again, more of the segments on the bottom parts of the legs, along with the patterning that you've got there going into the boots. Very nicely done. You've got that symbol, that Jet Jaguar symbol on his waist, which it's in silver, and then of course highlighted on the borders with the blue. So that looks really cool there, and also the patterning on his chest area here as well, with the red kind of going down into that silver there, and it looks really, really good here. And of course you got the nice fists as well that he's got his hands in, so he looks ready for a fight, ready to team up with Godzilla to take on Megalon and Gigan. So very, very awesome. Again, I really, really do love this guy. So I think that does pretty much cover it for the paint and detail. I'm trying to think if there's anything that I missed here. I think I pretty much got it all. Again, you can see all the detail work on the back here. Lines going down, of course the patterning and everything, again with these grooves and segments that he's got. So very, very, again, it really does capture his look very well. At least I think so anyway. That, like I said, that should cover it for the paint and detail. The only other thing we'll look at is the articulation. He does have a few points of articulation, none in the head, but he does have on the arms, on both arms, they can go all the way around, so as you guys can see that. So if you like doing that, you can do that with him. And the waist also swivels. It could probably go all the way around, but it might pop out of play. Well, I guess you can get away with it. So, yeah. But either way, though, you get some nice swiveling out of the waist either way. And of course, like I said, the arm rotation there as well. Nothing in the legs. So just a few points, very basic articulation, but, not bad for what it is, though, here. I definitely like it. So I think that pretty much covers it. Size-wise, he's more in that sort of 7-inch range, I believe. So some of your 6-inch figures will look a little bit small to it. I'm not going to really showcase, but like you know, if you've seen any other reviews, you've probably seen, like, for example, the Bandai Creation Gigan, which I have and have already previously reviewed, does look a little on the small side compared to Jet Jaguar. He's a little bigger than him. I also have the YMSF Megalon, woot woot, which I will definitely review in the future. He's sort of hunched over, so you can kind of let it slide. Obviously, Jet Jaguar is still a little bit bigger than him, but you know, he's also a little bit bigger than some of your Bandai Godzillas as well, because they're more in the 6-inch range, and again, he's more like a 7-inch figure. So, so just something to note. But it's really not too bad of a. You know, it's not too big of a deal in my opinion, anyway. And I think they all look good on a shelf together. So, and it's just great to be able to have, you know, a standard size Jet Jaguar figure in your collection. I know they've got like X Plus, and they've got like some older Bandai molds and stuff like that, and of course the Gashapon one, which I have. But you know, this Bandai Movie Monster Series one, I think, is just a really, really nice addition to the collection. Again, he is kind of rare. He is pretty sought after, so he is going to be fairly pricey. I think I got an okay deal on it, but it was still, you know, not cheap. I think I got him for around 70, 75, I believe, when I picked him up a while back. But I've seen him for well over $100, so... So it's just something to bear in mind. Again, he is kind of a rare figure, so you just got to keep that in mind. But, you know, if you are in the market and are interested, again, top-notch figure. And you can't go wrong, you know. It's Jet Jaguar, you know. Get ready with the competition to punch, punch, punch. So, all right. So, anyway, I think that does about cover it for the review. I would definitely like to thank you so much for watching. If you would like to subscribe, please feel free to do so. If you would like to like and or comment on any of my videos, please feel free to do so as well. And just remember, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, you be good to yourselves, and sayonara.